myself is a painter in Chinese ink painting. As a matter of fact, for Chinese ink painting, it has been for many, many years deeply rooted in Chinese philosophies like in Taoism. I would like to see in a broader dimensions of how we address other issues other than just the building forms, other than just compositions and scales, etc. Because for the past many years, the whole world has been going through, I would say, the various problems as to we have big problems with air pollution, we have big problems with water pollutions, as well as even forest fire, and somehow now we come into a bigger problem of the COVID-19, which has really affected the whole world. Having that in mind, not just an architect, I think as artist itself, can I be looking into something in a broader sense as to do something departing from Chinese philosophy as now in a world, in a global values, such as in my painting here. The title is Breathing. This time when I'm showing my two major sets of painting under the title Breathing Series, and the other one is Life Series. What it meant is that we human beings do breathe. Plants also breathe, which is called photosynthesis process. Then for my painting, I'm using ink and pigment over it to also breathe. And how I'm doing it is, of course, I use very watery ink and pigment put onto the paper, and then using a cling film over it and massage, and therefore it will creating a very textural effect. Then after some time, maybe several hours or the other day, then when this color or the pigment starts to evaporate, it will create very strong textures. And when it's done, I put it off, then all the textures will become a piece of work that I'm going to present right here. I use the title 18 Shades. Now, why the number 18? First of all, this is very Chinese because this is a lucky number. But when you're looking into what I'm painting over, these 18 pieces, itself is just mounted, right? But if you're looking from an architectural perspective, it is in fact 18 windows, very narrow windows, whereas 18 people looking through the window, when people having different mindsets, and they will see different mountains in different colors. Therefore, over there, you can see 18 shades. It's like 18 different colors of mountains, which in a way signifies your mindset of happiness or sadness. So it all boils down to your mindset, looking through the window and seeing the mountain, and therefore I have such a title. In my painting, you don't find any buildings at all. However, I wanted to express my work with some connections to architecture, which is in the form of very narrow strips. Either it is horizontal or vertical. Why? It is because in architecture, we always play with facades. Architecture always talk about three-dimensional volumes, but at the same time, when we're talking about how you play with your facade is how you define windows, how do you define lines, either vertical or horizontal. So that can be part of my painting. I myself is from Hong Kong, and now I'm traveling to London. Now, Hong Kong and England are, actually they have been in good relationship for many years because in the past Hong Kong was a colony for over 150 some years, and therefore British culture has been rooted in Hong Kong, particularly in the area of architecture. And myself as an architect, of course, I know very well we have a lot of these colonial buildings or heritage buildings in Hong Kong for so many years. How I'm going to bring about cultural exchange, perhaps through this, in exhibition in this gallery here. I believe that because of my work has more global values in terms of environmental concerns, in terms of green concepts, and I believe this message can be much more easier for the British to understand and appreciate. And this is my first time, my first solo, and I think it will carry on some more years. And by then, that will be time they really appreciate, my art.